What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys, today's video is going to be about Suboxone to Sublocade 8-month review. So that's about where I'm at with my Sublocade treatment so far. Before I get into today's video, you need to know that I'm not a doctor. Nothing on this channel is medical advice. If you are struggling with addiction, please seek out your own medical doctor. Everything on this channel is for entertainment purposes only, and for me to share my experience with you and for you to share your experience with others, guys. All right, so as you know, that's what we usually do on the Wednesday live streams. All right, getting into today's video. So I wanted to make a shorter video. For those of you who already have heard about this might not be the video for you to watch. This is for people who are kind of newer to the channel to find and get my thoughts and experience on Sublocade after 8 months. So all right, so just a quick addiction history. I was addicted to opiates for many years. In 2017, I found Suboxone. Suboxone saved me from that opiate addiction lifestyle. Suboxone did save my life, but then I stayed on Suboxone for many years and I had troubles tapering off, right? So many people do have struggles tapering off of Suboxone, and this might be a great option for somebody who has similar issues, okay? So I believe that I wish that I didn't have to stay on Suboxone for so long. I was ready to move on from Suboxone, but it's just, many of us fear the withdrawal. It takes a pretty decent amount of emotional labor to do your own taper, right? And to fight your brain every day, even on the hard days, to not take more. So not everybody struggles with that, but that's what I kind of struggled with. Over the years, I tapered up and down a few different times. I tried rushing tapering. You know, I did have some success tapering. I did taper down to 1/4 milligram of Suboxone, and then I was off for some time. But as you guys know, I had a lockbox with medication in it that I was able to reach into at any time. So I should have gotten rid of that lockbox, and if I did, I'm confident that I would have been off Suboxone since, what was that, 2019, I think, somewhere right around there. So anyways, guys, going on my Sublocade journey, okay? So I first got my first Sublocade shot in August of last year, and I just took my last Sublocade shot yesterday. So just over 24 hours ago, I got my last shot, and these are the doses. And as you guys know, I went off label, meaning that my doctor kind of customized my Sublocade plan to meet my needs, right? So I went from 4 milligrams a day of Suboxone to my first shot of 150 milligrams. That's simply the 300 milligram shot that they order, and half of it was given to me, right? So the second shot I took was only 100 milligrams, and we took that right at the 4 weeks. And this is at the point where as soon as I got my second shot, I got rid of my Suboxone because I was tempted to reach into my lockbox out of curiosity, not out of being in withdrawal. I've never experienced withdrawal since day one of being on Sublocade, even with me lowering my doses and spacing out the doses, right? So I just wanted to touch on that, guys. So the day I got my second shot, I burned all my Suboxone because I knew in my mind that if I had that option, I would still keep reaching into that box from time to time, right? So if you're struggling with continuing to do the hand-to-mouth stuff after being on Sublocade, maybe you can do something similar to me. You have to kind of burn the boats and let go, if you will, at some point. So, all right, starting over. So 150 milligrams first shot. Second shot was 100 milligrams at week 4. So that's usually when most people are going to get their next shot, is at week 4. So the third shot, I took another 100 milligrams, but this was at 5 weeks. I wanted to test what it felt like. I wanted to build some trust with Sublocade and just know, okay, I'm going to push an extra week. I kind of knew there was going to be no problems, but it's like you don't really know until you experience it, right? So I went 5 weeks on my third shot. My fourth shot, I went 6 weeks, and I took another 100 milligram shot. So that was my fourth shot, but it was my third 100 milligram shot for my fourth shot. All right, and then that was my last 100 milligram shot. And then I went all the way to 8 weeks. So I pushed that last 100 milligram shot out 8 weeks, and I had no issues, no problems, no withdrawals. After 8 full weeks, So I decided to get 75 milligrams, and then I went 9 full weeks, right? That was my 5th shot, was 75 milligrams. And all that is the 100 milligram shot that they order. 25% of it was squirt out and given the rest to me, okay? So for my last final shot that I had yesterday, it was 75 milligrams again. So that's my second 75 milligram shot, and that was at 9 weeks, okay guys? So overall, basically you could just say about 8 months I've been on Sublocade. 7 of those months I have been free from the oral addiction of Suboxone that I had daily for many years. I really couldn't, I was really struggling with the hand to mouth, right? Suboxone was such a huge part of my day every day. I would take 2 doses a day, and my first dose was first thing in the morning. I had to set my alarm. I set like a alarm on my phone for an hour and a half after I took my dose. And literally I couldn't do anything but basically I just laid on the couch and waited an hour and a half for my dose to kick in, for me to be okay for the day, and then I could go about my day. And then I'm waiting for my second dose, okay? 2:00 p.m., take my second dose, do the same thing, set my clock for an hour and a half, and then I could go on about my day. So it was just on my mind too much. I guess you could say maybe I had an unhealthy relationship with Suboxone. I didn't always take the exact same dose. I wasn't super stable on the dose. Some days I would take more, some days I would take less. And that could really kind of make you feel, your emotions can change, right? Just by how much Suboxone you take. At least that's how it was for me. I'm not saying everybody's like this. Maybe you have an excellent relationship with Suboxone. Maybe you're newer to it. And I find that a lot of people who are newer to Suboxone, it's really like amazing experience for them, right? And it seems like mostly as people stay on the medication for many years, or it's just kind of like a relationship that you're ready to let go of. You're not in fear of any relapse. You've built some clean time. You don't even have those connections available anymore. And then that's when it's maybe a good time to speak with your doctor about considering getting off of Suboxone. That's kind of my outlook on the whole thing. You guys might think different. You might just think Suboxone should be used for a week or two just to get you through whatever withdrawal, right? So there's a million different scenarios that could come into play here, but I personally think that Suboxone should be used to kind of help restructure your life to get out of that breaking the law every day lifestyle. And just kind of cleaning up your life, doing the emotional labor that you need to do to live a life sober and free of substance abuse. So yeah, basically, did Sublocade ever get me high? Let's just say that. So I really, honestly, the first day, I got my 150 milligram shot at about the 6-hour mark. And I know that for most people, it's going to peak sometime within the first 24 hours of getting their shot is when your blood plasma levels are going to peak, meaning that's when they're going to be the highest, right? So I did at the 6-hour mark of my first shot. I felt a rush of buprenorphine is what I call it. And what that felt like was just an overwhelming feeling of medication. And I'd never heard anybody talk about that before. So I don't know, if I think it's kind of rare for that to happen. I don't know if it's because of my metabolism so fast or what, but most people don't experience that like I did. But it was literally like a 2 or 3 minute period of just feeling, it scared me because I've never really felt such a rush before like that, okay, from buprenorphine. So that was literally the only time that anything like that ever happened. Even when I got my second 100 milligram shot, I maybe barely felt it for the first day. I've been really kind of being mindful of how I feel before these shots and after these shots. And it's not a huge difference, really. I was feeling a little bit emotional for maybe the last week before I got this last shot. But I have had a lot of things going on in my personal life. I've been sick. My girlfriend's been sick. Her dog is going through some major issues right now. My dog almost went to the ER the other night. So I have been having some pretty traumatic things happening in my personal life. So I haven't had any sort of withdrawal because I haven't had like the runs. I haven't had any insomnia. I've been sleeping better than ever on Sublocade, almost probably too good. What else? Just no withdrawals, right? No withdrawals so far. And many people, if you look online and listen to many people's stories, they say that they didn't have a withdrawal from Sublocade. Okay, so you guys know that I'm going to deep dive into this, and I'm going to give you guys any details of anything that changes in the future as far as what my experience is like coming off of Sublocade. You guys know I have many years experience with Suboxone. I know exactly what Suboxone withdrawal feels like. Like, I could still remember like yesterday. I know exactly what it feels like to go through Suboxone withdrawal. So for you people who are out there on Sublocade, I talked to my buddy. Let me read the text messages from my buddy, that actually the one that pretty much got me to try Sublocade. This is somebody that I know in real life and I've known since I was a child. So, I trust what he says, and he was really confident about Sublocade when he first got on it. He was on Sublocade for probably 3-4 months before I got on it. Okay, so I said, I just got my last shot of 75 milligrams. Are you still doing good with all of that? And he said, I was actually thinking about it yesterday. I've gotten back a lot of my motivation and ambition in the last couple months. I said, that's badass. It makes me excited. And I said, wasn't it October your last one? And yeah, so he got his last shot in October of 100 milligrams. And so he's really just feeling great about everything. He says it's crazy to think I'm not on anything. It's been a long road. And his addiction actually was even a little bit longer than mine. So him and I went through a lot of things together with our addiction, a lot of similarities with this dude and I. We were really good friends for many years. And so yeah, I said, that's amazing. I said, I can't wait. I said, I'm mind blown that people are getting off without any bad withdrawals. And then let's see. I said, I'm glad you got on it first. Laugh out loud. I probably wouldn't have done it if you didn't. So I know that I'm kind of that person for a lot of you who have made the switch to Sublocade. You guys have seen what I've gone through. You've seen the reviews I've done on Sublocade, and many of you have made the transition already, and many of you are enjoying your newfound freedom. Okay, just a quick couple of things. He says I had no withdrawals at all. Let's see. Okay, so all right, so just a couple of quick things that I like about the medication, a couple things maybe I don't like. Let's start with the cons of what I noticed about Sublocade. Obviously, the first thing is the lack of availability for people who don't have insurance, right? There are many people that are military, VA, or many people who are on state insurance that are getting Sublocade free of charge, right? So if you're broke on paper, or if you're not working, you likely can get these medications for free going through your state insurance, right? Or if you're a government, you should probably be able to get this medication for free as well. There are many grants out there, so you might talk to people in your area. If you have like a decent insurance, maybe they pay for half of it. Go check out the website, www.insupport.com. And that's, a lot of people are finding that they're getting financial assistance to pay for the remaining amounts of the shot after what their insurance won't cover. Okay, guys, so I don't like that. I don't like how expensive a retail price would be. It's like $1,900 a shot for people who would have to cash pay that. So that's obviously very expensive. Plus the administration costs that you'd have to pay your doctor to squeeze it in you or whatever. So yeah, the price, and I don't like how it burns. For a lot of people are worried about how it burns. I could handle it no problem at all. I never did get a 300 milligram shot, so I know that the higher the dose, the more the shot's gonna burn, because it's just how it works. My first shot was the worst, 150 milligrams. It just felt like a bee sting, really. And then every shot after that got easier and easier. I never used any ice to numb the area. I never used any type of numbing injections or creams or anything. I just always took it right like that. Okay, so it does kind of sting for 5 minutes maybe. Also, I don't like that you have a little knot on your stomach. Like some people can be really concerned about that visibly. The skinnier and leaner you are, the more you're going to likely notice it. If you can, have your doctor inject in the most fatty area of your stomach. That will make it less visible, right? If you have a decent amount of stomach fat, you might not even see it very well at all. Okay, depends on how far deep he injects it. Honestly, that's really the main negatives to it. Some people still have issues with constipation. Some people still have issues with their testosterone being lower, sex drive being lower. It does get worse. Obviously, those things get worse right after your injection, and then they kind of smooth off as the month goes on, right? And as you lower your doses as well in the future. But other than that, guys, like so many positives about this stuff. You guys have heard the stuff that I've said. It's amazing for me to be able to go 2 full months or more between anything, right? Like just go get a quick shot at your doctor. If you're somebody that wants to stay on it long term, maybe your doctor isn't cool with skipping months like mine was. Even if you had to go in once a month, I mean, it's a 5-minute injection. You don't have to go to any pharmacies and walk out of there with your bag of medication and feel like people are judging you. You don't have to have, you don't have to do the Suboxone hand every day, or you put the medication in and don't talk to me for 15 minutes. You don't have to have that nasty taste anymore. I personally believe that it's going to be much less damaging to our teeth than being on oral Suboxone because we're not swishing that stuff around in our mouth. Many people have had teeth issues accelerated. I mean, some people have full-blown dentures from being on Suboxone for so long. So it is known that Suboxone can prematurely damage your teeth. There is a lawsuit about that. All these things being said though, guys, remember that I don't ever want you guys to feel like, oh, I'm screwed because I can't get Sublocade, right? There are many people on this channel who have successfully tapered off and moved on with their lives. Many people. And I have brought them to the channel. I have had them share their experience. You're seeing them in the comments. Mama Deb just got off. Zach just got off. And these people have been on Suboxone for many years. And, many people that are getting off, they're not in their 20s or 30s. Many people are in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. So it can be done no matter what age you are, guys. If Sublocade is an option for you, then you might consider it. Talk with your doctor about it. There are many pros to the medication, absolutely. Do I think it's a miracle medication? I wouldn't really call it a miracle, but I would call it the best tool that we have in 2023 to help somebody get off of Suboxone and maybe to help also get them out of the opiate addiction lifestyle. Because you can't just stop taking it like you do with Suboxone. Many people just stop taking Suboxone and then they can go to their drug of choice after a few days, right? This is known fact. Many people have done that in the past. You no longer get the feeling that you guys get from taking your Suboxone every day. Some of you guys get energized. Some of you guys get calm and relaxed. Some of you guys get a little bit of euphoria from it. Whatever it is that you guys are getting, you no longer get that anymore. And that is the biggest difference as far as how you feel in your head when switching from Suboxone to Sublocade. You feel normal, you feel stable, no highs and no lows ever again, guys, okay? You're just gonna feel totally normal. So you have to know in your heart of hearts if you're ready for that. Not everybody's ready to give up the extra energy boost that they get from their daily Suboxone, right? Not everybody's ready for that. But if you are truly ready for that and you're ready to have some much more stability in your life, you're able to go on vacation for a couple months and not have to worry about going into withdrawal or losing your medication on your vacation, right? Like there's just so many different little small things like that kind of make things much more convenient. Just thinking about how everything's gone, it's been an awesome experience so far. I only wish that I could have gotten on Sublocade sooner. I would have saved more years of the up and downs that I had to go through with Suboxone and trying to taper and holding on to my own medications and having other people hold it. Just like it's been a pain in the ass, right? So that's really the most I wanted to say about this. I'm excited to see what happens for the future, guys. So if you haven't yet and you'd like to see how my journey goes getting off of Sublocade and having it taper out of me, then please feel free to hit that like button, subscribe if you guys haven't yet. We do Wednesday live streams every week. If you'd like to come be around like-minded people, I know a lot of people do find value in this community and a lot of people do make great friendships in this community as well. So Check out the live streams, guys, if you haven't yet. Hit that like button, and we'll see you on the next one. Leave me some questions if you have them. Bye, guys.